How y'all doing out there? This is Pete. We're at D.I.Y. Auto School today. What we're doing is taking those off for a minute because I want to have a little talk with you. The biggest thing going right now is called a flapper disc. Now, these flapper discs are new to the industry. It used to just be a grinding disc that you would purchase, and then you would use the edge of that grinder to get rid of your welds or to get rid of slag or whatever you're going to grind down, like I'm going to show you over here. Now what we're doing on this rear end over here, I'm going to go ahead and explain it to you, is I'm taking the factory spring perches off because I got to put these perches on, and the factory ones won't work, so we had to cut those off. I went ahead and cut those off, and what I used to cut those off with, I'm going to go ahead and show you. This is a Harbor Freight 4.5-inch cutting wheel. Alright, this is the cutting wheel that you buy at Harbor Freight. You can buy a pack of, I think there's a pack of 10, it's either 5 or 10 of them for like $9 or something like that. But for quick, easy, simple stuff, these are good to use. If I did this all the time and this was like a full-time job that I would use my angle grinder, I would not buy these. But these are good for the hobbyist at home, and they work okay. You can see this one broke in half, and we had to go ahead and put another one on. Speaking of another one, here's one right here. Alright, and like I said, they work okay, they're pretty good, but they're not the best on the market, but they are worth the money. So if you want some cheap, inexpensive cutting wheels, 4.5-inch, now I think they also have 5-inch cutting wheels at Harbor Freight, get them. We're not here for those though. What we are here for is this tool right here that Harbor Freight sells. This is made by Warrior. It's a flap disc. It's 4.5-inch and it's 36 grit. Alright. These come in a pack of 2. I believe they're $4 for a pack of 2. Don't quote me on this. When I bought these, it was 6 or 7 months ago. The price might have changed. You can actually find these on sale. They always have them on sale. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you about this flapper disc. Here's one that's used, and we're done with it. We can't use it anymore. You can see the melted slag inside the flapper, and it's no good. It's used and it's done. I also have here a Dewalt. These cost $9.50 each. This is a Dewalt brand. This is a 36 grit versus 2 for $4. Okay. I actually have buddies that are welders, and they bought a bunch of these on sale at one time, and they said they will never buy them again. The most cheap, inexpensive grinding disc that we can find. So we're going to go ahead and take the Harbor Freight, and we're going to take the Dewalt. Both these are 36 grit. This is the cheapest Dewalt one that you can buy. Right off the bat, you can see that the Dewalt is much thicker than the Harbor Freight Warrior. You can see that right off the bat. You can also see, if you look really close, that this flapper disc, there's a grinding pad that goes all the way through it. And if you look at this one, you can see that the paper they use to make this grinding disc is very thin and cheap. Alright? So, I'm predicting that the Harbor Freight is going to give out and not work as good as the Dewalt. We're going to find out and see what happens.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
So just to let everybody know what we're going to be grinding on, this is a rear axle out of a 1967 Camaro. This is a 10-bolt rear end. Here's the factory spring perch that came off this side. It sat on there just like that, and then I had to cut it off and then bust the spot welds, and then I ground this down right here. I'm not going to tell you what grinding disc I used to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to grind these down. We're going to use the Harbor Freight on one, and we'll use the DeWalt on the other, and we're going to see which one's going to really do the trick, and even see if the Harbor Freight can keep up with DeWalt in any way whatsoever. And I want everybody to see this is weld. You can see the weld, and then this is part of that perch. So we're going to go ahead and grind that down using flapper discs. We're going to go ahead and use the DeWalt first, and then we'll switch over to the Harbor Freight. Alright, so we got the Harbor Freight disc loaded up and ready to go on our 4.5 inch Porter cable high-speed angle grinder. And we're going to go ahead and remove this one here. I like to get this one out of the way first. That's the hardest one to get. So let's go ahead and see how our DeWalt 36 grit 4.5 inch flapper discs works on this item right here. Okay, I would say that the DeWalt really did a good job, and there's still, if we look at that, you can see there's still flapper disc left, and it's still very, very thick. And I think that if we had to, we can go ahead and remove this one using this disc. So the DeWalt for $9 seems to be a good buy. Now we're going to go ahead and install, we're going to go ahead and put the Harbor Freight on. And this is the only one they sell at Harbor Freight, just to let everybody know. This is it. Now they do come in different grits. I think they have 80 grit, 60 grit, 40 grit, and 36. I don't know, but I know they have 40 and 36 for sure. So we now have the Harbor Freight grinding disc on there. Let's go ahead and see what that's going to do for us. Okay, we just got done removing this lag welded piece of spring perch that I cut off and I left on there. They were basically the exact same size. I think the DeWalt one was a little bit taller and there was a little more meat there. But you can see that the Harbor Freight one, it's pretty much gone. It's a done deal. We won't be able to use that on anything else. You can see where the edge of it's already starting to rip. Look how thin it is. It did do the job, I will say that for it. It did take off that very thick metal and the weld and the slag, and it made it flush mount. It feels good. I got a little bit of a rough edge right here. Let me get that off. So the bottom line line is, which one is worth the money? The $9.50 DeWalt or the 2 for $4 Harbor Freight? There's the Harbor Freight right there. Alright, it did take it off. You saw it with your own eyes. This is done. We can't use it no more. It's over. Alright? Remember, we get 2 of these for $4. And then here is our DeWalt. It's still got a lot of meat left. We could have probably took 2 of them off with this and eliminated buying the Harbor Freight, but that one disc right there cost $9.50 or somewhere in that area plus tax to purchase that. But you can see the DeWalt still has meat left on it. It's still got flappers, and it's still good enough to use for other jobs. So you get 2 of these for half price of this. All right, 2 of these. This is like $4 for 2 of them, or it was when I bought them. Half price. And it would take 2 of these to do that job over there. Whereas I can buy 1 of these for $9.50 and do the whole job with 1. I'm going to let you figure out which one is the deal there. I'm thinking that my answer probably is going to shock you, because I'll tell you which one I would do. Okay, let me go ahead and explain which one I would buy. In times like these, I think I would stick with Harbor Freight due to the fact that you get 2 of them. You're not going to do super heavy duty grinding all the time like you just saw me do. That's going to be out of the ordinary. People that are buying these are hobby shop guys. They're going to last a lot longer than what I used them for. And for $10 with tax, I say that the Harbor Freight wins. A Harbor Freight is a better deal. Even though it would take 2 of these to do a job of 1, you're still only paying half price for these versus 1 of these. Now, once again, I might have bought these on sale. I bought these several months ago. For all I know, they can be $8 or $9 for 2 of them. If that's the case, then I would suggest to get the DeWalt. The DeWalt seemed like it was a strong contender. It worked very hard. It's still got meat left, and it's a good deal. If I can't get the Harbor Freight, I definitely will buy the DeWalt due to the fact that you basically saw it. This cut it down in half the time that this did. I had to use more force and pressure with the Harbor Freight versus the DeWalt. It basically used the weight of the machine to do the job, and I just moved it around. If you noticed on the axle, the one with the DeWalt was perfectly smooth. It looked really clean and really nice versus the Harbor Freight, which was kind of uneven and chalky, and you can still see where some of the weld is right here on this, but the DeWalt really cleaned it off nice and got rid of it quickly. So basically, this was a test and trial situation to see how good these Harbor Freight Warrior flap disc, 4.5-inch flap discs really are. I would say if they're still at a reasonable rate, they're worth the money. I would go ahead and buy them. If they could become on sale, they usually get on sale. I would buy 5, 6, 7 packs at a time. Both these are rated at 13,300 maximum RPMs. They're both 36 grit, and they're both made from metal. So there you go. Harbor Freight wins on this one due to the price. And I think that, that's my opinion. Especially if you're a homebody guy, the Harbor Freight one is the best buy for you. But if you do this for a living and you want accurate, quick, and responsive job completion, I would go with the DeWalt. There you go. That's the review on these. Take it easy. I hope you liked it. Flap disc, 4.5-inch, 36 grit, right here. Harbor Freight. I believe those are $4 or $5 for 2 of them. it's a good buy. Get them and use them. And then when you're done with them, throw them away.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.